Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and this channel is dedicated to those of you that are just getting started out in this wonderful world of voiceover. And through my videos, I share with you some of the techniques that I use every day in my own voiceover business. So currently, I am in between audiobooks, and I usually have a queue of at least 2 or 3 to get done, and right now I have a couple of authors that are in the final stages of editing, so I don't have an audiobook right now, although I will have one soon. So I'm going to go into ACX and see if I can find maybe 1 or 2 short audiobooks to get done while I wait for the others to be completed and be ready for me. So let's head on over to ACX now and see what we can find. Okay, so here we are on my search page. Now, what we're going to do now is find a smaller book that I can narrate in a short period of time. So first thing I'm going to do is go over to genre, and I have any selected, and to exclude erotica and sexuality. Not that I have a problem with those genres. Everybody's entitled to do whatever you're comfortable with. I don't have a problem with erotica and sexuality. I just don't want to do one of those right now. So I'm going to leave it as any and as excluding erotica and sexuality, and we're going to apply that. And then we're going to go to gender. I'm going to go to female. And I've mentioned this before where your filters don't save your settings. You have to go in and reset your filters, it seems, every single time you go and search for a new book. So be sure that you check your settings before finding a book, because if you're female and you want to narrate a female, or where the author would prefer a female voice, if you don't change your filters, you might be presented with male and female, and you might really find a book that you like and then discover that it is a male voice preferred. So to save yourself that trouble, make sure that you go in and reset your filters for searching for a book each and every time, because they don't seem to save. So I selected female. I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to go to language and see it says any, and we want English because that is what I speak. And then I'm going to go to, I think, everything else. Let's do accent, American, General American, apply. So we still have 569 books that we can audition for. So I'm going to leave the filters there. And let's see what we can get here. Bedtime stories for kids. Once Upon a Time, probably. Once Upon a Time collection. Dinosaur edition. Relaxing meditation, sleep stories. Oh, how cute. Perfect for kids ages 3 to 9. Oh, this looks adorable. Okay, so what do they want? Do they want English, male or female, adult, American General, accent, storyteller. Okay, so it looks like this book was published only about 7 days ago, posted to ACX yesterday. It looks like it currently has no ratings, and it does have a high Amazon sales rank, but that is typical with a freshly published book. Amazon typically puts you up towards the top at the beginning. So actually, they have comments down here. The book is part of a four book series. Potentially, you could have 3 other books to narrate. The length of the book should be 5+ hours. Each story should be narrated as a separate audio file, of course. I want background music and introduction, and between stories, 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, well, what is the word count for this? So the word count is 45,200. Okay, well, if they want this to be 5 hours, as we know, 10,000 words equates to roughly 1 finished hour of audio. So if they want this 45,000 word book to be 5 hours, that means there's going to be, well, this is also meditation, so this is definitely feasible to kind of stretch out the length in total runtime for the audiobooks. That is completely feasible to make this to 5 hours. So there's going to be quite a few pauses within the meditation, if that makes sense. So this is completely doable. So their project budget is $50 to $100 per finished hour. So if this is a 5 finished hour book. It has the potential, I should say, to be a $500 project. This is a little bit larger than what I wanted to work on at this moment. So I'm going to go back and find something a little bit smaller. And having said that, I'm going to go to my project length and select something that is under 3 hours and apply that because I want a smaller book right now. Okay, so it looks like we have what looks like a comic book. That is pretty cool. The Hidden Power of Herbs. Hey, Baddie. That looks like, oh, I see. Yep. Positive Daily Affirmations. Chicken Wire and Duct Tape. Interesting. Never Knew Love Like This Before. Great Molasses and the Benefits and Production. Win the Runway. Stories Told. That looks like horror. I love it. Good, Bad, Ugly. Okay, so we have quite a few pages here still. What was there? 62. So there's 62 books that we can look at. Social Anxiety. I need to read that one. Halloween Night on Monster Island. WordPress and Elementor. Downsizing for Seniors. I'm also looking for a book, hopefully with a, because this is a smaller book, I want this to be royalty share or royalty share plus. I want to add to my royalties that I earn every month from the books that I narrate through ACX. So I want to look for something that is going to be appealing to not just, well, I guess it could be niche. Something that is appealing to me, something that I would buy, if that makes sense. So let's continue to look here. The Lies We Eat, Factual Manifestation, Everything Will Be Okay, Life Lessons for Women. What does the month of your birth reveal about you? We have some really interesting titles today. Okay, The Reluctant Intuitive, A Feast of Prayers, The Uncle Outlaw. Pandemic Impact on Your Business Model. Pandemic Business Mindset. Wow, I didn't know that this was, it's a great idea. I know there's a lot of people and businesses that have been affected by what is happening in the world. So I guess that would make sense that somebody would write a book. Let's see, Secrets to Making a Man Fall and Stay in Love. Wrestle for Your Destiny. One Light. Oh, Jesus, I'm not going to read that one out loud. Business English, Fast Track Learning for Spanish Speakers. Spanish, okay, those are language learning. Let's see what else we got. This looks like it's the last page. This one's maybe not completely uploaded. Okay, so those are the books that we have. I'm going to go back to the beginning. And one of these piqued my interest. However, I am not remembering where it was. Big Ben and the Mean Guinea Pig. Okay, where was that one? Okay, I kind of like this one, Self-Publishing Guide for Independent Women. Okay, 1.3 hours, royalty share plus, 12,000 words. Self-Publishing Guide for Women is a book dedicated to women who are looking to pursue their career as a self-published author. It doesn't matter if you are a signed author, previously self-published author, or an aspiring new author. This book is for you. Using personal experience from a course of 7 years, Robin shows writers how to get over the fear. Okay. Motivational stories and advice. It's got 2 ratings, 2 5-star ratings. The Amazon sales rank is in the millions, but it is very niche. So let's see. Female, adult, general American, or the accent is a general American. Vocal style, articulate. I think that describes me for sure. Okay, well, let's take a look at the audition here. Let's download the script. All right, cool beans. Now, I'm going to audition for this one. So let's pull up my Adobe Audition. Okay, here we are with Adobe Audition. I'm going to hit Shift-Control-N to create a new file. And then we're going to name this one, what was the exact title of the book? Self-Publishing Guide. I'm just going to shorthand it. Self-Publishing Guide for Women. Audition. And if you noticed, I'm going to pull this back up again. If you noticed, my sample type that I'm recording this audition in is the actual sample type for ACX requirements, meaning that it is a 44/100 hertz mono 16-bit. Well, right now it's WAV, but when I'm done with it, I'm going to submit it as an MP3. So right now it's already in the proper formatting, apart from being WAV for ACX. So let's go ahead and I have the air conditioner on, so I'm going to wait until it turns back off to record this audition because I don't want the additional noise from the air conditioner in my audition. So I'll have to cut the wait part out of this video. It should be turning off in just a moment. Just taking a coffee break while we wait. Okay, we are now ready to record as the air conditioner is off. So I'm going to pull up my script, and I've got my handy dandy clicker in case I make a mistake. And let's hit record. Close my studio door a little further because there's still a lot of noise leaking in. Okay, here we go. Chapter 1. Getting started. First, if you haven't finished your first manuscript, researching and asking how to self-publish isn't going to do you any justice. I didn't like that either. Let's redo it. First, if you haven't finished your first manuscript, researching. If you haven't finished your first manuscript. First, if you haven't finished your first manuscript, researching and asking how to self-publish isn't going to do you any justice. You need to focus on your book, and then once your book is complete, it's time to read this book. But for those who are finished, or probably on their 10th book, or in a contract, yeah, I know the feeling. It's time to listen up. I know a lot of us authors are on a low budget, but if you're going to become successful, you're going to have to spend a little money. I'll make sure I mention key things that are affordable and leave out some of the expensive stuff. The basics. Research the word self-publishing. Get the feel of the word and know what it means. Whatever information you find on self-publishing, read it. I've read plenty of self-publishing books that have helped me along the way. I'll list a few at the end of the book. Start your Kindle Direct Publishing account. Already have one? Well, it's time to dust it off. Also, there's more platforms out there other than Kindle. There's Nook, Lulu, Google Books, iBooks, and Kobo. I suggest stepping out of the box and giving these platforms a try. You cannot use Kindle Unlimited if you are on other platforms. Start your website, even if it's a free one. Once you start bringing in a little income from your books, you can buy your domain for no more than $20 a year. In the meantime, get a free one from Wix.com or Squarespace.com and set it up like you're paying for it. You're going to need it more than you think. Okay, once I cut out all the mistakes that I made, this will be about 3 minutes-ish. And I think that is pretty sufficient to give the rights holder an idea of how I sound and how I'm going to approach this book. So I think that will be sufficient. So now let's get into the editing. As I've mentioned before in previous videos, I already have a preset rack for my audiobook effects through Adobe Audition, and I will go ahead and put a card up above for you to find that video if you're interested. But I'm going to go over to my effects rack and I'm going to click my audiobook preset. And my audiobook preset includes NS1 Mono, which is a plugin from Waves that reduces the background noise. And then I also have some isotope plugins as well. I have the RX7 Mouth Declick, I have the RX7 Deplosive, And then I also have CLA vocals, also from Waves, which is an EQ. And then I also have a preset parametric equalizer that I had set for me by the great Tim Tippett. And I have all of these pre-programmed into an audiobook preset rack. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my rack to my Audition. Take a sip of coffee. There we go. Okay, now I got to put my ears on so I can hear what I'm editing. All right, I know the beginning was me just talking about getting started, so I'm going to take that out first. And I also retook that first line about 5 times because I didn't like the way it sounded, so I'm going to remove that as well. Chapter 1. Okay, so I'm going to remove all of this talking blah blah. Getting started. First. Okay, so that was my first take. I know I did it a few times, I think. First. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to get rid of all of... Where am I? Get rid of all of these retakes. Getting started. First, if you haven't finished your first manuscript, researching and asking how to self-publish. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this breath that I can see right here. You need to focus on your book. And then once your book is complete, it's time to read this book. But for those who are finished... Okay. So I also see a little bit of a breath or something here, and then I also see a click. Now, this is what clicking this looks like on my waveform. It just looks like 2 little lines, and that is indicative of where I made a mistake while I was narrating. So I know this is a mistake, but I'm going to double check it before I delete it because you never know when you're going to goof, right? I know. Yeah, there was a little bit too much enthusiasm on that one. So I'm going to actually put my playhead here and remove the mistake and this, whatever this, no, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a breath or some sort of a noise there. I'm going to get rid of that and the mistake. I know a lot of us authors are on a low budget, but if you're... And then I also heard like a nose fart or something in here. Low budget. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to switch my cursor to a healing brush, and I'm just going to see if I can gently coax that nose fart out of the audio. Budget. Perfect. Okay. But if you're going to become successful, you're going to have to spend a little money. I'll make sure I mention key things that are the basics. Okay, so for a break in a paragraph or when she's listing things, I'm going to need a little bit of a pause before and after. So I'm going to leave those pauses there. Research the word self-publishing. I've read plenty of self-publishing. Start your Kindle Direct publishing account. Write your biography. Okay, here's another mistake here. If you can't. Yeah, I didn't like the way that sounded, so I'm going to get rid of the mistake, the click. If you can't write. Okay, and it looks like I've got one more here. You're going to. Okay, so I'm going to move my playhead just before the mistake, highlight the mistake and the click, and then end right before the retake, and then delete. Okay, and that is the end of my sample. So we are just under 3 minutes, but still I think that is sufficient enough for the rights holder to get an idea of how I would sound. So I'm going to remove some of this additional space here. I'm going to go about here and just remove all this empty space. All right, cool. And then now I always like to send the audition to the client as it would sound as a finished product. So I'm going to go ahead and now normalize to -3 dB. And then now we're going to check our RMS levels. So I'm going to go over to Amplitude Statistics, and we're going to scan this section. And as you can see, my total RMS amplitude is -19.68. And for ACX, you need to be between -18 and -23. So this falls within that range with a peak amplitude of -3 or less. So we are within ACX's parameters. Or requirements. So I'm going to go ahead and save this now as an MP3. And now we're going to upload our audition. Let me take my cans off now. All right, so we're going to upload our audition. We're going to click Browse. Oh, and I had forgot to mention in your audition sample that you send, if you can see down here, I renamed my file with my name first. So if this rights holder gets a bunch of auditions, my name to remember who I am and how to find me will be right in that audition sample. So my name is first, the name of her book, and then what it is. So it's an audition. So that is uploaded. Now I'm going to write a nice little message to her. So she mentioned she was open to Royalty Share Plus. So my message is basically, hello, and thank you for reviewing my audition. I would love to be your voice. I would love to also, let's see, we should probably put in also. I would also love to further discuss Royalty Share Plus details with you. Because she didn't really specify what the per finished hour of the plus part was, so I'd love to discuss that with her. So that leaves it kind of open to maybe she can give me what she was thinking as far as what she wanted to spend as a budget for this book. So I am open to her terms. So I'm going to now just say, thank you for your time. But you have to spell it right. I look forward to hearing from you. I am a very big advocate for helping everybody to kind of think outside the box and find additional streams of income. And when it comes to women, of course, myself being one, I'm going to be a little bit more open to helping them because a lot of women still think that they cannot do what they can do. You know, they're not aware that they have the ability and the power to do what they want to do. So when it comes to self-help in general, I love being a small part of that. And for women, even more so. So I wanted to share a little bit of that with this author as well. And so now we're going to submit the audition and see what happens. So before I leave this page, I just want to double check that my audition was uploaded, that my message is uploaded, and everything is there where it's supposed to be. And we can go on finding another book if we want to, but I think for this video, I'm going to leave it right here. So I'm going to continue on and submit a couple more auditions today. So thank you so much for joining me on today's video. I hoped you were able to pick up some new ideas and some techniques that will help you in your own audiobook narrating business and maybe navigating ACX. If you have any other comments or questions, please feel free to leave them down below or send me an email if you like. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.